Greetings, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory once again, and I'm here to talk about voyeurism. That's right, voyeurism. Now, and I don't mean voyeurism in a sexual sense. Well, partially I do. I noticed that with the whole Charlie Sheen thing, and I am a little late with this, where Charlie Sheen has been going on these rants on his blog and going on these wild tirades and having these wild escapades. I've noticed that the public has been glued to their television sets, tweeting about it, vlogging about it, blogging about it, and instantly in my mind I'm thinking of that song by Don Henley called Dirty Laundry. And I'm sure you can probably YouTube Mr. Don Henley's Dirty Laundry, and you should just check the lyrics out at least. Now, I've often thought about that. Why are we attracted to just dirty laundry? Like, why are we attracted to celebrities' dirty laundry? And it goes back to we are a voyeuristic culture. We watch others play sports, but don't play any sports of our own. We watch people go on dates, but don't go on any dates of our own. We watch people praying, but don't pray ourselves. We watch people eat. We watch people have sex. Why do you think the adult entertainment industry is $1 billion industry? But we don't go out and do these things ourselves. We sit in the comforts of our home, in the comforts of our chair, or even in the discomforts of our home, depending upon whatever situation you're in. And we're subject to watching somebody else do what they love while we're sitting back being the critics. And I did a video a while back called A Culture of Critics. And I probably mentioned this about us being a voyeuristic culture, but just with the whole Charlie Sheen thing, it just really brought that to mind. Even with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods' infidelity, or Bishop Eddie Long's scandal, or even the R. Kelly case many years ago. People, we just seem to watch the TV, and then we have our opinions, and we make these judgment calls on these people that we don't know, most likely will never meet, but somehow we judge them. We judge them harshly. We're ready to bring down the hammer of God. Now, granted, these people are no angelic or saintly beings, but come on. I mean, why are you putting that person on blast when I'm sure, number one, there's skeletons in your closet, and number two, why are we caring about what somebody else is doing? Why are we looking at it's someone else's business? Why are we in someone else's business giving our opinion when we should be sorting out our own affairs? Now, I make that point because too often we do believe life is passing us by. A lot of us have that feeling. I know I've had that feeling of life passing me by. And the one thing I did notice was that people just, they're not really in tune with, how do I put this? They're not really in tune with themselves. They're in tune with what the other person is doing. So-and-so's doing it, so what, can I do it too? Or, I can't believe she's over there doing that. Well, how about I worry about what I'm doing? Am I in the right? Am I in the wrong? And you got to ask yourself those types of questions. I mean, do we really just stop and think? And again, this is something recently that I've dealt with. Just like I find myself being nosy in people's business. I find myself going, so and so did ABC. I can't believe so and so did ABC. Whether it's looking at someone's Facebook page, whether it's listening to what someone did this weekend or is doing next weekend, or is doing right in front of you right now, we always got something to say. And the reality of the situation is, I gotta worry about me first. And so to a certain degree, I think it pays to be selfish. You should be selfish. You should never be so quick to live vicariously through someone else, because we are so a vicarious culture. Like, I like pro wrestling. I sometimes go to watch some wrestling pay-per-views with some of my people, some of my homies. And I noticed that we're caught up in the wrestling drama, we're caught up in the athleticism. And then we got the nerve. Someone got the nerve to make a criticism of somebody else's move or someone else's gimmick. And I'm like, and I think to myself for a minute, they're the ones out there making the money to be on television. You sitting at home on your couch. Who's the fool? But that's just how I perceive it. I also recognize that people, sometimes we just need that wake up call. And again, I said to myself before I even say it to anybody else, because at the end of the day, I don't know what any of you all's religious beliefs are, but I know that I'm going to have to face the Creator on the day of judgment, and I'm going to have to give an account of my life, of what I did and what I didn't do. So I think we need to focus more on that as opposed to focusing on what Sheila and Lisa and Bobby and Johnny were doing. And that's just me. And another thing, we shouldn't, and even when we're doing our own thing, we shouldn't compare ourselves to anyone, because none of us are alike. None of our situations are alike. And there's a quote that I'm reminded of which says, comparison is the thief of joy. And too often we do compare ourselves to other people. Like, I'm not as good as this. I haven't had as many interesting experiences as this person over here. And I know I am damn sure guilty of that one. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Like, we are a culture of voyeurs. We vicariously live through others. And if, because somehow we feel we come up short or we're inadequate. So I just want to encourage you and encourage myself, of course, to don't really compare yourself to anybody, because number one, there is only one you. No one else can be you. No one else can do you better than you. Now, just because someone else prefers the other thing that you aren't, then that person wasn't for you. There's a quote my coworker always quotes, and he quotes George Clinton, and it basically says, "To each his reach, and if I can't cop it, it ain't mine to have." So that's the attitude I'm going to start to have: is to each his reach. If I can't cop it, it ain't mine to have. So let's not wish we were like someone else. Let's just wish to be better us's. If that's a better way of saying it, I don't know. But really, stop looking to Charlie Sheen and Tiger Woods and Bishop Eddie Long for your cues on life. Just be yourself. Well, get to know who you are and define who you are, and then be yourself and be that and live into that. And if you find something else, roll with it, man. Roll with it. So, thank you for taking the time. Please hit me up in the comment section down there, or you can just give me a video response. And thank you.